It's not only a woman who has to be an ally. A man can be an ally too. A man can look out for you. A man can be, Steph, I'll mention Andrea Kramer because she's a mentor of mine and I know that you've spent many, many years with her. Um, when my son was born, and I'm sorry, I hope this doesn't offend anybody, but when my son was born, I was a nursing mother and I had a lot of difficulty finding places to pump when I was at football facilities. And I remember calling Andrea Kramer, and Andrea said that when she used to go to the Ravens, Brian Billick, who was the head coach, would open his office door, put her in his office, and leave. And she would sit and have his office. Meanwhile, I would be at the Pittsburgh Steelers facility, and they told me use the women's dirty restroom or go to your car. They refused to give me a place. And so every team, every person, every individual is distinct. I didn't have a female leader I felt comfortable going to speak to and say, hey, I need a place to pump breast milk. And all of the men that I worked for had wives who stayed at home with their children. So that made it all the more awkward. I remember calling the National Football League and saying, hey, can we send out a memo and ask teams to create a room for women to pump in? And I'll tell you that fast forward 4 years later, I had my daughter, and the NFL now ships home breast milk. Everybody's got a pumping room. Like, the world has changed. But it doesn't change if I didn't rabble rouse, if I didn't call the NFL and say, this is a problem. But at the time,
it changed because of you. That's something to be proud of, that it changed because of you.
I mean, maybe, but I was also mortified, Lisa. It was just like, I was the first female reporter to have a baby. I was like, oh my God, am I going to lose my job? I worked for a guy who told me, you had a child, be content. Like, I think that there's a piece there that if you feel that there are women, and I hate to say women, because again, to your point, Lisa, to your point, Steph, they don't have to be women. They just have to be people that you feel have your back, right? If I felt that there was someone that could support me in some way, it wouldn't be so scary. It would just be, this is something I'm dealing with. This is important. It is important to me to be a mother, just as it's important to me to be a kick-ass reporter. I need to provide nutrients for my child. Like, it shouldn't be a either or. I don't know. I don't know. But that's to that same point of clapping back at the trolls or to standing up for yourself. Nothing changes if you don't stand up, if you don't take that on to some degree.